Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Steven with Freeze Peach Gaming. This is where I like to talk about pop culture, politics, and where the two collide. Please consider giving me a like, comment, and subscribe down below so you can see more content, and ring that notification bell so you can actually see when my content comes up in case I get suppressed by the YouTube algorithm. We'll see. Right now, they don't care about me, as far as I know. Either way, let's talk about today's story. G4TV has been coming back to YouTube. They've been doing this for a couple of months now, and I was actually really looking forward to it. I loved G4 back when they were on in the early 2000s. It was a very common watch for me. I'd watch XPlay with Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb, Attack of the Show, movies that don't suck. I always loved the Chris Gore segments of Attack of the Show where he was talking about movies and all sorts of stuff, and that actually really had a deep impact on me in the way that I view movies as an adult and the type of movies that I pick. That was the first time I saw Big Trouble in Little China or The Warriors, Dirty Harry. I loved that stuff. But now they're coming back to YouTube, and it seems like they have been completely infiltrated by lefty politics. It was probably always the politics that they had on the show. They just didn't really talk about it before. It wasn't important to the subject of gaming. But now, because everything has become political, they have to talk about it, and they have to put it up front. And if you don't clap for them, if you don't clap for every time they go on some off-the-wall rant about their bullshit, you're going to be a misogynist. They're going to label you as a bad person, and they're going to make sure everybody knows just how bad you are. Well, this one insufferable cunt goes by Frosk decided that she was going to give her 2 cents on an episode of XPlay. Let's pull up the video. So, just to be clear, she is supposed to be talking about Red Dead Redemption Online, and I think there's a little bit she talks about there at the beginning.
That we need to have eventually about game design versus immersive experience and comparing the Red Dead Online multiplayer experience versus the solo player one.
See, that's what she's supposed to be talking about, but she's going to go off on a rant here in just a second.
But I actually want to talk about something so much more important than Red Dead Online. Sexism in gaming.
Yes, don't talk about the topic that we want you to talk about, that we're paying you to talk about. Talk about sexism in gaming. That's what the fans want to hear.
In joining G4...
This is not where I thought we were going, but I'm here.
I had no idea.
I'm listening. Yeah.
In joining G4, I was ecstatic to be part of something that I grew up watching as a child. But every time G4 is brought up in various channels, even in this YouTube channel, we have the chat in front of us. I can see you. Without a doubt, there will be backlash because I'm not as bangable as the previous hosts.
How much do you want to think that this is all projection? She's actually upset that she's not as bangable as Morgan Webb.
Somehow...
Talk to him, Frost!
It has somehow been...
Oh, God, these fucking soy boys sitting next to her. Like, yeah, talk at him. Yeah, you got this. You go, queen.
Expected that you can talk about how much you jerked off to women as a compliment. It's not a compliment.
It's weird.
It's dehumanizing and it's weird. Women do not exist to be nice on the eyes for you. Morgan Webb, Olivia Munn did not exist to be nice on the eyes for you.
No, they existed because not only were they good looking, they were also charismatic and they were likable. That is what this woman is missing, and I think she's actually upset about comments talking about her being an insufferable cunt and not the fact that she's not as attractive as they are. Which, honestly, I bet if she actually put some effort into it, she wouldn't be a bad-looking woman, but she actively tries to be as ugly as she possibly can. And I think she's upset that that's, people have noticed, oh, hey, you try to be unattractive. But Morgan Webb and Olivia Munn, they weren't there just because they were good looking. People enjoyed watching them. Morgan Webb had good reviews that she would do on video games. Olivia Munn was a charismatic and likable and funny person. I remember seeing her, they would always take videos of when they would go to conventions, typically E3, CES, or Comic-Con in San Diego, and Olivia Munn would go around and talk to these unkempt neckbeards like myself, and they would be super awkward, and she would usually maintain her cool pretty well, and she would try to be inviting and nice to them, and it was always a really good thing to watch, like, oh, look at this good-looking woman who's actually giving attention and being nice to a bunch of unkempt neckbeards. It was a good thing to watch.
Hey, she cooking, y'all.
And that's just obvious sexism.
All right, who's this fucking off-brand Kenan Thompson motherfucker sitting next to her? I'm sorry, no one cares about your opinion.
You don't need to explicitly objectify women or declare that you hate women to be sexist. Just go ahead and check out Thorne's latest meltdown on Twitter for some spark notes. Now, here at XPlay, our reviews are written and produced by a team of people. There are too many games for one person to shoulder the burden. So we divide and conquer. And when we use language like we or I, that's the reviewer. That's coming from the mouth and experience of the reviewer reading that review. And that's not to say that Gerard, TBH, Adam, or myself don't contribute to the reviews. We absolutely do. But it'll always be in varying degrees and take a whole team behind us.
Okay, yeah, no fucking shit. That's what it's like when you have a big show, when you have a big production. You guys have major production value there. You really think the audience thinks you're doing all this shit by yourself? No fucking shit.
That's why we're XPlay and not Adam Play. We have done the experiment and...
Oh, and look at fucking Sessler just clapping away. Look at that vacant look in his eyes. You can tell internally somewhere in his brain he's going, I have completely sold out everything that I should have ever been. I am just going to clap and continue clapping. Otherwise, all of these monsters that I've built up around me are going to completely destroy me. They are going to come home and they are going to just wreck my world if I don't clap as hard as I can right now.
Controlled for the variables. Adam will read a script written by the same writer that I will read the other half of the script for, but I'll be the one flamed.
Yeah, and you want to know why? Because you're an insufferable cunt. Adam's also an insufferable cunt, but he has a long time of fan base behind him. He did XPlay for a great amount of time compared to you. And really, when I watched XPlay, I was watching for Morgan Webb, and not just because she had amazing tits, which she did, but because she gave good reviews and she was a charismatic person.
And yeah, it also happens to Gerard and TBH, but that doesn't discount the sexism of
It happens to them, but it happens to me more. That's what she's saying.
How it happens to me when it does. Both things can be true, that there is a general hatred of any change that isn't Adam, and that I'll receive special flame just for being a woman. And I wish...
No, once again, it's because you're an insufferable cunt.
I could turn the camera around so that you could see the incredible team that make XPlay. Half of our producers and writers are women.
See how inclusive we are? We hire women. It's not just me. I'm up here to be the mouthpiece for all of the other women that are actually behind the camera, but we really hire women. Aren't we inclusive? And I wouldn't even be surprised if she started talking about just how many of them were BIPOC, people of color.
Emily, Abby, Megan, Joe, Jake, Zipper, Gabby. It goes...
Zipper? The fuck kind of name is Zipper? What kind of non-trinary tree folk fuck is that?
On and on and on. Former writers that are now on ATOS like Vanessa. When you're in our DMs or on those YouTube comments or in Twitch chat right now, those reactionary threads thinking that I'm somehow ruining your current XPlay experience because you can't objectify me how you previously did to Morgan, or that I'm somehow less qualified to speak on something, but you...
Okay, objectifying like the audience previously did to Morgan. Nobody forced her to do fucking Maxim. She had a good body. She was a good-looking woman, and she used that to her advantage. But nowadays, if you do that, you are giving in to the misogyny. And not only that, you are using internalized misogyny. But she can't have that. No. You can't have good-looking women up here. Everybody has to be ugly, and not just on the outside. People need to be ugly on the inside. That's what she's really upset about, is that not everyone else in the audience is just as ugly on the inside as she is.
You can't quite put your finger on why, even though I'm reading the exact same script as Adam, but you have no problem with he's part of it. You're letting your unconscious biases ruin my day, and you're gatekeeping the gaming space. So...
Oh, we're gatekeeping the gaming space. You know what? We probably should have been gatekeeping the gaming space for fucking years to keep these insufferable cunts out of it.
Maybe for 2022, we'd be a bit nicer, a bit more self-reflective, and we enjoy the fact that people are working hard to make free content for you. If you don't like it, don't watch it.
You know what? I won't watch it. I was actually looking forward to G4 coming back. I was actually looking forward to especially XPlay. That was the one I wanted to see. But you know what? Now I won't. Fine. Bye-bye. I won't watch you.
Peace.
Hey, I gotta back her up.
Oh yeah, and look at that smug fucking look on her face right there. Oh, can it get better than that? Please tell me the smug look gets better than that. Nope, that's it. All right. See, here's the real problem. Let me try and bring this back up on the main screen. I really think a lot of this is projection. That's the main problem here. She's actually upset that people aren't talking about how attractive she is compared to Olivia Munn and Morgan Webb. And it's because she's had people who are ugly like herself on the inside and outside tell her how beautiful and how brave and amazing she is. And I imagine there's going to be a buttload of stans out there, especially on Twitter, who are going to talk about, look how brave she is. But when people applaud something you have just said, when they don't even have to think about it, the second you say, we need to talk about sexism in video games, they're all just, like a bunch of trained fucking lobotomized seals. They just start clapping away. That doesn't make you brave. It would be brave if you went up there and said, you know what, I know a lot of people don't like me as much as they liked Morgan Webb, but I'm going to try and engender myself to you. I'm going to try and get you to like me. I'm going to put this forward. If you don't like me, that's okay. I just ask that you stick around and you give me a chance. That would be fucking brave. Being able to take criticism in stride is fucking brave. Not breaking down and going off on this completely unhinged rant about what a couple of fucking commenters online. Guess what? You've opened yourself to an entire world out on the internet, and there's going to be trolls out there, and there's going to be people that just don't fucking like you, and you need to accept that. And if you don't like it, maybe you need to get off the internet. And here's the worst part of this. Do you really think that G4 is going to come back with all the backlash that they're receiving on this? Do you really think they're going to come at her and be like, oh, you know, what you said, it's really actually hurting our brand, and it's going to cost the company money? They're not going to do that. They're going to just clap her on, because if they don't, they're going to get the hatred mob that she's going to rile up on them. This is the problem with cancel culture. This is the problem with all of these people forming mobs and attacking, not just creators, but attacking platforms or ideas that they don't like, rather than trying to challenge the idea and say, you know, hey, I know I'm not this person. Give me a chance. They're going to attack you. It's just sad. I was really looking forward to G4. Not anymore. I'm done. I'm not going to subscribe to these channels. I'm not going to watch their content. And I'm probably not even going to give them that much hatred in the future, unless they do something really stupid and I think I can get clicks for it, because, you know, you got to grift once in a while. I think I'm just going to give them apathy from now on. I think I'm just done. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a wonderful day. Please let me know what you think about this situation in the comments down below, and never be afraid to speak your mind.